If you're hearing this, you're part of the core squad keeping DPS and chill alive after dark. Tonight, we're deep diving into the 7 Days to Die madness the main channel didn't survive long enough to see. Let's roll. All right, so what we're going to probably do is get ourselves organized over the night, ready for starting back with the next episode, I guess, at 4 o'clock in the morning or thereabouts. With the traders opening at 4 o'clock, it makes things a lot better. I would have probably used to start it the day at 8 o'clock, I think. But for folks supporting me at the correct tier on Patreon, I will add this bit of nighttime sort of stuff. What are we doing? Getting organized. This is our first night in the game, and usually I just sort of hide in a corner somewhere, especially with these rather pathetic weapons. But we are thirsty, and the old health and stamina are recovering slower as a result of that. So we did demolish those blocks there. It's the sun set over there. Okay, so let's have a look at these things. There's the map. What have we got there? Okay, skills. We got one skill point to do. There is perception. I think we are definitely going rifles at some point. Do we want Pummel Pete or Skull Crusher? For it's clubs and bats. Boomstick is shotgun. That is tempting for close combat. Intellect. Still like the ideas of robots. Calculated attack. Let's ponder that a little bit more. Let's not be in a rush to get on that. Okay, so apart from owls, it seems to be quite quiet. All right, let's see if we can spend this point. Agility. We do want parkour higher. Do we want the huntsman? That's harvesting more meat. I thought that might have been something to do with rifles, but this is the rifle one. There's salvage and treasure hunter. Those are also incredibly tempting. Also, our perception is only at 1 at the moment, so that is also not great. Let's... I don't know. Eventually we'll make our mind up. What are all these things? We've got upgrade blocks. Stuff like that, which will get done. Place door. These will all kind of get done as you build a base anyway, so I'm not too fussed about them. Lots of harvesting things and farming little goals to do. So we do have some stones. Let's get some things repaired while we have the opportunity in preparation for the next day, i.e. day 2. I still don't know quite how long we're going to run this for, truth be told. I don't want it to be going on masses and masses of time, but I suppose we'll see. And this is like our first sort of venture into 2.0. So we're just going to play it relatively vanilla. I don't use sort of upgrades or whatnot. Forgot the word for a second. Plugins and stuff like that. For this, at the moment, maybe in the future, if we get some sort of a bit of traction on some videos, maybe in the future we'll add a few sort of things here and there to make life a little bit easier just on day-to-day usage. But for now, we're just going to be completely vanilla on this front. Grass seed. Try and make a little bit more space for ourselves. We've got the thing we've got to dump off at Trader Rec tomorrow. Hey, it is really quite quiet around here, thankfully. Not in the middle of the city. Just sort of on the outskirts on a tiny little... What is this, an electrical substation sort of control area or something like that? I don't quite know what this building is. Honestly, it's actually not too horrific. It's stone-walled. If we can block out access to the zombies, on that ladder example, like we did just on the right of that map. You see that wooden block. If we upgraded that to stone, I mean, potentially, who knows? It's probably quite viable for a first night horde, but I don't. I have no idea what we're going to do for a horde, actually, truth be told. Way too early. We do have our bedroll, and we're not going to put it down here. We're just going to sort of look around nervously and at that tree. I keep thinking I hear something, but evidently I don't. Let's have a little slide down this ladder. Go on. There we go. Crouch 37. We should be okay. Is it? Now, I think we would like a wrench or whatever it's called to take apart these things to potentially sell the electronic items, electronic bits that they're made up of. That is a zombie. I don't know what blend of zombie, but it's definitely a zombie. Okay. Thought I heard it, but that would be an owl. Yeah, there's definitely something outside. We're just going to stay deathly still for the moment. Our stamina is still at 81. Yeah, we're less than 50% water hydration. And sort of, I think, less than 50% food as well. So we do need to get our hydration and food organized at some point. Okay. Is that a zombie I just said? Sometimes I hallucinate, I think. I must hallucinate with some of these. Obviously, nothing is going on for this particular video. I am not going to cut anything out for the Patreon video. I assume if nothing happens like there is for this last few minutes, I should probably just chop it out, unless I have something particularly important to say or question or something like that to the lovely folks watching this particular video. I don't have any polls to run, so I can't direct you to sort of have a look at a poll and maybe vote on something or the future directions and stuff. But yeah, I think in future I am going to be chopping out this bit, or at least fast forwarding it if nothing's going on. But for this particular video, I do apologize. I should say for this video and probably a couple of others of these sort of night shift videos, these are basically voiceovers after the fact in case it wasn't immediately obvious. I was sort of concentrating and having just finished the day's recording, so to speak, and attempting to talk a lot. I was just enjoying not talking for this sort of, I don't know however long it takes, 15, 20 minutes. However, I don't know, maybe just in quiet, maybe just fully quiet video is what's needed rather than my random ramblings. And what is this music? 125, is it incoming zombies? Is that what it means? Or to ramp up the stress, certainly. But yes, as for the bases, I've no idea what sort of base. Do we do a base where we're going to live? Like a horde base and sort of living place combined? I have done that in the past. I do normally, I think, have a sort of a bit of a separate base from where I'm staying. Horde base from where I'm staying. But, which is probably what I'm going to do on this particular one. I'm not fully confident of 2.0 yet, and all of the stuff that it begins. All the stuff that it brings into the game. I know we got some new zombie types. It's like a spitter of some variety, and there was some sort of... Was it a yeti? Some sort of shaggy beast. I hear a zombie to my right. Still shuffling around over there, so we're just gonna leave it where it is. Yeah, still trying to really figure out what we're going to do with the channel. I think with the YouTube videos, we may very well do sort of weekly videos. And then of this sort of variety. But then I think on the weekend, on like Friday night and Saturday evening or Saturday afternoon or whenever we end up doing the 2 streams on Twitch, it's twitch.tv/DPS and chill. I think those are going to be the nights where we basically just play first-person shooters, whereas these videos will be first-person, or indeed third-person for that matter, of some variety, whether they're sort of shooter games or survival, or indeed maybe things like Elite Dangerous or the cursed Star Citizen at some point. I think that's the general plan. I do find first-person shooters weirdly sort of somewhat relaxing. So I think we'll leave those for the streams. Let's get this stuff reorganized, shall we? Okay. Well, a red tea as well. Beef. Oh, we are hungry and thirsty, and there's an egg. Well, there's one singular egg. Really not going to do much for us food or health-wise in general, but... we shall ponder that. I suppose with the whole channel being first person, kind of mostly orientated with a little tickle of third person, I suppose that does eventually give us the potential to maybe finally complete Skyrim. That game has been an absolute curse. Always end up being a sneaky archer every single time, which is what I do a lot in this game. I don't know why I like it, but I do. At least when I can get the arrows on target, sometimes it's a complete and utter catastrophe. That zombie's still outside there shuffling around. I just do not have the confidence in my skills to get it in time, especially with it being swifter at nighttime. I'm not entirely sure of the storm mechanics in this game. I know they happen. I believe they're random. And you have to sort of get indoors when they happen. Otherwise, you take damage after a while or something. And I think it makes the zombies a bit more frisky, shall we say. A bit more violent. So I don't know how we're going to deal with that. Hopefully we can get some decent weapons before we have to worry about that. But I think there's something up with the biomes as well. Like before you could just go into them. I think now you have to have like a special drink or something. I'm not entirely sure. Hopefully we'll be able to figure it out by the time we go in there. Can still hear that zombie. We're going to get that as soon as we get out of this place. Before we head back to Trader Rect. It is 3:44. 16 minutes away from the chimes. And the end of this video, basically. I will be uploading the second one. It's probably already uploaded. It should be going live at some point. I need to figure out a good time to drop videos. Like as we progress, I think for the beginning, it's not going to matter too much. As we progress, we will see. Oh, all right. We are crouching. It is just to my left. But anyway, that's the over with the night. Onto the main video. I appreciate you riding the night out with me. Your support keeps this whole thing breathing. Seriously. Drop your thoughts, clips, or cursed moments in the Patreon feed, or hit us up in the drop zone. Until the next night shift, stay safe, stay savage.